Hello, and welcome back to the Update Podcast, the show where we talk about art, passion, talent, and issues that shape our world today. In our episode today, we want to talk about a very controversial topic, and we have a very important guest in our midst. I would introduce him because he will do that by himself, but then because the topic for today is very technical, very sensitive, I would like us to dive right in and introduce our guest. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me and let's welcome Mr. Hassan. Mr. Hassan, you're welcome to the Update Podcast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure really being here.
Uh,
I'm Hassan, a researcher and analyst, and also assist in so many other multidisciplinary fields. And this topic actually is a point of interest, though very sensitive.
hmm. So,
Really,
can you tell our audience why you choose to discuss the consequences of women empowerment on men and children?
yeah, it's very simple. Women empowerment is just as simple as giving women the opportunity to contribute in various fields, leadership, as well as other social connection, not limiting a woman to a particular role as pinpointed by society or maybe the tradition and whatever influence that women have been suffering with over centuries.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, so tell us, what does women empowerment mean to you personally?
Well, women empowerment to me is simply aligning women in daily activities, actually changing the framework behind a successful man to with partnering. Because when you say behind a successful man, it simply means a woman's right, a woman's contribution cannot be if a man does not give that opportunity. But a woman, by a natural being, has the right to be a partner, to contribute equally, and also to give opinion at any level. And so their return or maybe feelings needs to be respected. Meaning, in every situation, a woman's supposed to have equal say as well as equal contribution in whatever situation that she finds herself.
Okay. So, do you think women empowerment has evolved over the years? And do you think this topic should be considered controversial at all?
Yeah, women empowerment, first of all, have really evolved. If you look around Cameroon, women education in secondary and high school has become, it has improved over time. Even their involvement in business, though the only area where I see women involvement is a little bit slow is in the politics and probably administration.
Mhm.
So, on the aspect of controversy, it's obvious. You know, Cameroon is an African country deep rooted into culture, where culture see women in its own particular way, which I don't think we'll be able to dive into.
Yeah.
But then we should also understand that the controversy don't come because culture discriminates or don't empower women. I think that if you want to talk about women empowerment per African culture, I'll recognize that Africans have been the one who have first of all recognized women even. Because
Oh,
back then we know that our women had very technical role that they play in the society. They are always advisors. In fact, there are so many things that you grow up and you cannot say, I learned this thing from my father. They have been the role model for bringing up the generations of our forefathers. That's why men, it's very easy for a man to blame a child on the mother than see what their child is doing, because that woman had been the role model in the life of that child. Therefore, whatever a man is as a hard work of a woman. So it's a controversial situation because the feelings, emotions, and this issue of I have the right, I'm the hate, and so on is
so I'm safe to say that women empowerment has been ongoing like since the beginning of time,
Of course.
and women are essentially the backbone of our society.
Yeah, of course, that's
Wow.
true.
I see myself very important there. Okay, let's understand women empowerment. In your view, what are the main significant achievements of women empowerment so far? Like ever since this topic has started giving issues all over the world, what are those significant achievements?
Okay, before we can look at the achievement or the achievement of women empowerment, we need to separate certain aspect of women empowerment. Every time we hear about women empowerment, the first thing that comes to our mind is gender equality. The next thing you want to know, a woman's place, and so on. And this thing has created a very big issue that we cannot see how important women empowerment is. Then at some point, especially those in Africa and Cameroon in particular, we fail to understand that our society, first of all, have a very big difference with the Western society.
Yeah.
So we don't even understand that what goes on in the West, when it comes to our own society, we must first of all shape it. That's why it's not easy to even know that we had already had women empowerment before officially adopting it as if it's a new thing. It's not new. It has been there, but maybe not really recognized, but it has been there. All right. It's significant. It's very clear. In a home where you have two parents that are working, you can never compare a child from that home or even the lifestyle of that man to the home where you have a housewife and the sole provider or a breadwinner is a man. So the significance is very clear. Then I want to take it in this direction of single parenting. When you look at the life of a single mother or the child that grows from a single mother, who that mother knows that I am the only one to provide for this child. Behold, sometimes it's embarrassing to see that those children have the best life than children under maybe a complete family with a home. Because you see where a woman can exercise her all to make sure that that child actually gets what the child needs. On the other hand, in some homes where the woman's earning is more than that of a man, you realize that the man might benefit more because the woman always think of what I will get for my man. It's just something that is in women that I know is natural. If a woman does not do that, she does not want to do it. But it's just their natural. So there's a lot of significance in empowering women, in allowing women to share in the common ideas that shape the society. It's very, very important. In fact, the view of a woman to me is very, very important. It's paramount.
Oh, okay. I see. Now, there is this common saying in our society, like the child that grows up from a single parent, and most often it's always a single mother, they always term that child to be not fully educated. The child does not have the influence of a male character in their life, which means they are kind of limited. Do you think that goes in line with what you just said? Because from what you said, that child could turn out to be the best.
Yeah.
But then society tells him not to be the best because the male influence.
There comes the controversy, actually. You see, there is two kinds of love that a child naturally needs. A disciplinarian love and a passionate one. It's often very common for us to see a child being scolded at by the mother. Maybe 2 times, 3 times. But when the father passes around just once, that child might cry. That child might not be happy, but the discipline is there instantly. But that child will not feel bad for long because the mother is there to give that passion to that child. So it's kind of a balanced situation. So in that aspect, those who think that a child with a single mother will maybe not turn out well, I would say that yes, to a certain level, it can be accepted like that. But then we can't conclude in that aspect. Reason being that in our society, There's a say that if you don't fix your child in the house, the society will shape the child for you. Because in Africa, there's no way you pass and see somebody's child doing something wrong, you don't talk. That doesn't work. You, even if you don't want to, before you know it, you have already said something to correct that child. So I cannot really say that a child with a single parent is not going to be the best, though there will be limitation in some few areas, but I don't think that it's really a problem. Though I would recommend that the home should be complete.
Well, we don't wish that the home should not be complete, but we never can tell. Things happen.
Yeah.
Okay, now, can you tell me if there are areas, especially in the English part of Cameroon where we live in presently, do you think there are areas where women empowerment is still misunderstood or misapplied? Let me put it that
Yeah,
way.
100%.
Okay, can you give us an example?
It's not just like a particular area. It's generally, we know that in every home, even for myself as I'm growing, if my mother sent me to do something and at the same time, coincidentally, my father asked me to do something, the first thing my mother will do is that she will ask me to go for my father's instruction first. This thing is not about being my father having right over me more than my mother. No, it's instead about my mother respecting my father. So trying to push her respect even right up to the level of the child, teaching the child that for the fact that I have asked you to do something, this is your father. It's a lesson in the process. But then the feeling starts to come where we have shared responsibility. For example, I already understand that I really think about what the child puts on because my wife works and my wife will take good care of that. At some point, I realized that that child is not having what that child is supposed to have. And then I asked my wife, why? And she said, when last did you think about that? You understand this type of things. So in what I'm trying to put here is that misunderstanding is not because it's what is meant to be. It's just always a situation. And sometimes deep rooted in a traditional thinking, in culture. Though culturally it's well defined, we already understand that if you enter a man's home and you have to get food, go to the man's kitchen. If you enter a man's home and you want somebody to talk to so easily without a disturbance, you go to the woman. She's the only person who can advise you and talk to you calmly. The man will have very few words and straight to the point, which might not be a solution to you. So you see that at all levels, women are very important. Because a woman understands the husband. If you talk to the woman, she will tell you what that man is more. The man will never first of all tell you who he is. The child will not even understand the father if the mother don't help the child to understand the father. So a man complexity is broken down by a woman, which only tells you that a woman is smart, a woman adapts, a woman easily fit herself in a situation. Being the right person to approach certain sensitive issues, because though she will come out with her passion and say it in a leeway, but I think the message will be understood far more better.
Okay, if I could get the point, does it mean because a woman is passionate, because she's sensitive, it gives her that advantage over the man? Or is it because she has to be empowered in order to maintain those capacities that she has?
You have gotten back to my point where I say that we perceive women empowerment like something that is coming, which is something that has always been there.
Okay.
A man is not supposed to empower a woman. A woman is responsible as she is. Okay, a man might pay attention to details, but you will not know because the man will not express it. Alright, the unfortunate thing here is that a woman will express her details at all levels. You just discover that if we are talking about the child's health, the woman will start explaining from where that child started being sick and so on and so forth. But all a man will ask you is, have you got to medical attention? You see, at this point, you realize that a woman pays attention to details and she communicates it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. In fact, let's just put the other side. When a woman is angry, that's when you know everything she had not told you before. So it tells you that for you to actually pull through, we need women. We need women to understand certain things. We need women to even get certain things off our chest. Because among men, we can only talk about our work. We can only talk about the next plan we have. But with a woman, you touch the real societal issues.
Okay, now there is something I need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
If women empowerment has always been there in Africa, in Cameroon, so why does it look like it's something new to us? Does it mean we are not actually understanding what empowerment is all about?
All right.
Because from what I can get, or from what I understand, they're trying to give us that image of a powerful woman from the onset. The capacity she has to run a home, the value she has in that home. So now I don't understand, why does it look like this is a new topic for most of us? Like, this is something new, we've never heard of it, whereas it has been there. So how do you?
Well, we have a problem with this because normally every society depends on its traditional origin. The aspects that concerns women, the tradition, the aspects that concerns women in the society that we live in. But now in Cameroon, you know that everything we have is borrowed. Colonization made it easy that our society will first of all look down on ourselves. In as much as we have religion that is not our ancestral origin, in as much as we have education that is not our own origin, in fact, does not originate with us, it's not our own system of education, it also comes along with culture. So it's like you are adopting a different culture that is predefined. And they have rules, they have rights that are outlined. We have to learn them. It becomes a new thing. Then we don't even realize that, or you can never recall that while growing up, there were certain aspects that your father could not do. There were certain things that your father would not even be present. All you knew was your mom. You don't see her rights. You don't even understand that this woman has a pivotal role in my life. All you know is that the notion that men have the right, men have to do this, men, simply because our society is predominant with men. Men make it, the society makes it easy for you to feel that a woman don't have a place. Meanwhile, in practical terms, a woman shoulders a lot. A lot. Alright, why is it that you cannot hold a certain post of responsibility if you are not married? Or even if you do and you don't have a marriage, the level of respect you have or dignity you have, it will not make sense. It's just natural in Africa like that.
Okay, now I get the point. But now, since we are focused on men, good, can you tell us? Because some men feel like with women empowerment, they are kind of like trying to push them behind and send those women out there. So I want you to tell me, like, is it really what is happening? Like, are women who have been empowered actually a threat to those men, because they feel like they are being left behind? So tell us, is it actually true? Is it what is happening? Like, for example, we are here, I'm talking to you. Do you feel threatened by me?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay, so does it mean you're not being threatened by any other woman who is being empowered to come out and do things that you were not allowed to do before?
Let me shock you. I prefer a female boss.
High five.
The point is very simple. She might have her moments. A woman naturally will have her moments. But then, you should understand that it's easy to communicate with a woman. You need to know that a woman minds her environment. And once you fit in that environment, whatever you are saying is valuable. Okay, let's get back to the question you are asking about men being threatened. Men has to be threatened. You see, you develop a program to strengthen the ability and recognition of a woman, and men are not mentioned. And the worst part of it, those implementing the program are the men. When you make this thing as a law and pass into the parliament, how many women occupy the position in the parliament? But the parliament will have to adopt because it's a global developmental goal. Cameroon cannot belong to United Nations and they don't want to look at gender equality, which is one of the core principles or core activities of the United Nations. You need to belong, and you need to belong completely. Even if you as a decision maker is not going with you, you have to adopt it. You see where the threat starts. Okay, now not carrying men along while empowering the women is an issue. Let me take for a simple example. You have a job advert, most especially when it comes to NGO. They always put there, women are encouraged to apply. You just told me that even if I apply and I'm qualified and a woman is less qualified, just for the fact that she's a woman, she has a chance better than me. So will I not be threatened?
So it means men are actually threatened
at various aspects, and it does not supposed to be like that. It's not men has to be carried along. In fact, for me, women empowerment is actually giving women opportunities at various responsibilities. What do I mean various responsibility? Various responsibility means that what a woman feels she can do,
she should be allowed
to do.
Okay.
Not something that will abuse her being as a woman, because a woman and a man by being, they are two different beings. But anything that that suits a woman and she feels she can do, she has the right to do it. All is that should be guided. Men should be carried along for instance, if I am a man, I'm working, my wife is working, and at a certain moment I realize that our job has an effect on my child. There's somebody that has to pull back, or maybe there are adjustments. You see, from there now, it began, the debate will set in. I also have my right. I have a right to do this. I have a right to do that. The two have already forgotten that their focus is that child, not their job. And that issue, when they come right, we have equal right, we have this, we forget our value. We even forget that without me this month, they won't have eaten in this house. Maybe last month you had a debt as a man, me the woman, I gave you the money. We have already forgotten about that. Our mind now is just my right, is just because there's a small problem standing there.
Okay, so do we say men should also be empowered?
Of course.
Wow. So how will they be empowered?
All right.
Telling them to do what they know to do already?
No. This bounces back to resources. One of the biggest problems that we have not even mentioned is resource allocation. We don't even have the resources for all what we are even preaching about women empowerment. For example, if you go to other countries, developed countries, just because you are put to bed, you have given, maybe you have a child, they are not asking you. It's not an opinion or a choice. That child has to be educated. That child needs every single social responsibility that he can get. He or she can get. Okay, at this juncture, if the parents cannot afford, and it's clear that they cannot afford, that's where the state will step in. They will give them family allowance and so on. Meaning the resources is already there in place. They are only putting in this right to make sure that it's well managed. But we don't have. So how can you even implement something or say you want to empower somebody you don't have the means to empower that person? It's a very big concern. Now, carrying men along is not teaching men what they already do. No, it's telling men aspects or way or making them to understand that they need to give way, so that women should also join them in the struggle, pull the children along, pull the family along. Let a woman contribute in their life. They should learn to come and tell my wife that today like that my work is difficult. What should we do? Or maybe I was thinking that we should do this, or what is your thought about this particular thing? Do you have money we can allocate for this? Do we have to create account for this child, this help, and so on. This is what we mean by men being empowered. Maybe empowered means that we should carry them along. We should not make it as if a man has to sit, and if a woman say that I have to go to school, she has to go to school whether the man likes it or not. The man also have a right in your life.
Oh,
It's very important that the man can tell you that, you see, this school you are saying you no go. You are going to school this time. If your interest is education in this field, can you not do it at this time? Initially, what was our plan? Let's go and revisit that our plan that we have. If we do not have a plan, let's make one, so that at least everything we want to do should be planned and agreed upon, so that the woman will now know that I'm a partner to this man, and the man will now know that my dignity is returned.
okay. If I get you correctly, it means you don't want a situation where a woman will stand up and say, because she's an empowered woman, she has the right to do whatever she wants at any point in time, given that she's married. So carrying the men along, that's empowering the men as well, simply means trying to bond those people together, because I think marriage is more of a partnership, right? So people coming together to live a very beautiful life. So I think I get your point, and I think that's where society has failed a very
Seriously.
big time.
Seriously.
Because as a woman, even the fact that you cannot just wake up one morning and impose on your husband, because that's what we are also fighting for. We don't like when men just wake up one morning and impose on us. We are just going crazy. And when we women we want to do that, I think it's the same picture. And in that same line, I think this is where the children come in. So do you think this women empowerment talks and all, like, do you think it's really affecting the children, or are those children benefiting from empowered mothers?
100%. They do. All right. Let me take this biblically. The Bible says, to a man, love your wife,
Yes.
and to the woman,
Submit.
it's very simple. As simple as that. Let's go to the Islamic religion. It instructs the man to love, provide, and in fact cater for the wife and the children. And to the woman, all you need to do, submit. Okay, you might get this, and then you feel that it's a problem, or a woman's place is, there's no place for a woman, there's no place for a man. There's life, and that is it. You breathe, I breathe. We have breath, children. We have come together, we have children. Now, coming to the aspect of the benefits, or maybe the setbacks that children face because of this empowerment, that one is obvious. This is linked to the understanding of what women empowerment should all be about, be on. Once there is that understanding, the children will benefit. When that understanding is not there, the children will suffer the highest. Reason being that if I have a wife who works, that wife provides, that wife is capable of going somewhere and buying something without necessarily calling my phone. It simply means that the time that child spends, because we know very well that the child spends most of the time with the mother. The time that the child spends with the mother, all the noise the child has been making, the things the child has been demanding, the mother can easily just buy without necessarily going to the father. And now, to balance the whole thing, for a woman who understands that a man has dignity and has to be careful about hurting a man's ego, you just make a call that, oh, daddy, as it is like this, if you had to buy our child something, please know I have bought this thing. It's just a kind of a way to tell their husband that I got our child something. And even at certain moments, when you, the woman, has to do something for a child, you feel that this child should be taken out, or and so on. And even if you have the time sometimes, or you have the money and the husband don't have the money, it's good to transfer the money to your husband. Now, on the negative aspect, you see, a man who don't give the opportunity for the woman to come into play, the woman will be like an instrument. The woman will just be like some sort of a tool that you say do this and she does. You give, she cooks, she provides, she does those things. You don't give, you people stay like that. Once you fix a woman in that position, you have already created a void in your home. First of all, that woman needs half her needs. Now, adding to the child's needs, that when she looks at that child does not have it, she will feel bad. That's the first problem. The second problem will be she will not be able to provide at that particular time. And at the same time, you expect the woman to respect you. Come on. Where have you seen an angry dog obeying command? It's not possible. So that woman will start to lash out, arguments in the house, and you see how it start affecting the child. First of all, what the child needs will not be there. Secondly, the atmosphere in the house will not be conducive for the psychological health. Okay, now let's take the aspect where the woman actually has the means, and maybe sometimes the man don't provide, whether the means is there or not. The man has their own kind of funny attitude, and then you make it known in that house that I'm the one paying the fees for the child, I'm the one doing this. You failed your child. You might think that you are getting back at the man, you are destroying that child. Reason being that you are preparing that child to face the same challenge tomorrow. And all you make that child to understand is that you are the one sponsoring the child. Even in public, that child will insult the father with one day. I have experienced this because my father has this method of managing a home that even if he has to give you 10 million today, he's going to give your mother to give you. You don't even know that it's coming from you. He's this type of person that he does not move alone. Most often, he will ask your mother to do it even right in front of you when he has not given money to your mother. You even go and you are angry that, but why is he always saying that my mother should do it? My mother, why can he not do it? You see, when I grew up before I understood what he was doing, it's easier for him to get our money and remove a 200,000 and give your mother that, please, take and do business, take and do this, take and do that. We own a hospital managed by my mother. So how do you expect him again to come and remove money and give you? You see, why growing up, I did not understand. But he had empowered her. He could sit and tell her, please send 100,000 to me. And he is not saying so because he knows that you should be able to have it. Reason being that he has included my mom in the whole home management and so on. So even if he decide not to provide for the home and you are complaining, you should be able to justify with him that, oh, it seems as if things are not moving this time. Then please come in again.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a very simple way to.
Indeed, this topic is so broad. We can talk about it on and on and on. I will not even get to the root of it.
Yeah.
So I just want you to summarize a little, tell our viewers the kind of possible solutions that we can dive into in the society that we are. Like, what should schools do in support of parents to encourage the empowerment of both men and women, and the society at large, not just schools, because schools is just
a part.
They deal just with those children and everything. So what should society at large really do to help these parents, these children, to grow up in a good environment, bearing in mind that empowerment is not just for the women, it's on both, and it will definitely affect the children and the next generation. Yeah.
All right. The first thing I will recommend is that men should first of all recognize who they are. Naturally, if a man is walking out there and a woman happens to maybe hit her leg or something's happening, the man instantly, it's just like instinct, the man will react. So why not put that same reaction in every aspect? Allow the woman to be free, to be connected. Have that listening ear. Have that view on everything that a woman one is doing. Sometimes don't say that you want to be this, you want to be that. No, follow the woman's direction, even if it's foolish. You get a point at the end. Okay, children are being shaped by their home, their upbringing. However, if you give birth to a child and teach that child to be eating grass, that child will know just grass. But then, if you build that child in an environment where that child understand that there is love, my gender don't matter. I can go to school, I can be a medical doctor, I can be this, I can be that. I can follow a particular successful woman who is a footballer, and so on. Why recognizing my traditional values? Understanding that when a man is speaking, I don't have to gaze at the man. I have to put my head down, listen, and make the man feel important. Then I give my own contribution. It is far more better. So for us to have a safe society is not about education in schools and running propagandas or maybe making TV shows and so on. No, 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 no. It's something that we have to recognize in us. Fix it in you, and you see how the society will just be responding.
All right. Wow. Now let's relax a bit.
Okay.
Taking or still searching?
Oh God. Still searching, taking. I don't know how to answer that, but taking and still searching. Are you not? Am I not taking? I thought you had an eye for me. Sorry.
I'm taking. Oh, okay. Although the ring is not there.
You are taking.
I'm soon to be taken.
Soon to be taken.
Yes.
It means you have already initiated psychologically or you instructed.
Mr. Hassan, you are a joke.
No. You see, this is just what we have been talking about. You see, a woman is very smart. A woman can program you for 5 years ahead and you don't even understand. You don't even know that she knows what is going to happen. Very, very smart. It's all right. Let's take, for example, Rwanda is one of the leading countries in the world. No country has beat Rwanda in women empowerment. They have the highest, in their parliament, they have the highest number of seats occupied by women. In Rwanda. In fact, in most aspects in Rwanda, though we might tie it to the revolutions in Rwanda and so on, that men were killed and so on, women were this, no. But then they recognize who a woman is, what a woman can do, how a woman can shape the society, and they accept it. They elect them. They make the laws.
Well, I guess you guys should now understand what we can do and how we can help build Cameroon, us women.
Now that comes with pride.
It's not pride. You guys should just understand.
It's just natural with a woman.
No, understand that we can help build this country.
These are certain things men don't like, which they're supposed to.
And you like it.
You know a woman is always. In fact, I like to see a woman being proud. At the same time, I also like to damn a woman sometimes when she exaggerates. Yeah. It makes the society better.
Wow. This is so educative. Now, let's picture a scenario where roles were changed. I mean, like, you're me and you. How do you think the society will be like?
It's something that's a very good one. It's something we need to know. Really, until the woman feels the shoe of a man before the woman will understand the weight of the word, how it weighs on a man. You see, the time you spend on your phone watching statues, going through social media platforms and so on, a man will never spend that time. Reason being that a man's mind is set to always think of what's next.
And you think a woman does not do that?
No, women do that. 100% they do that. But you are talking about exchanging role.
Mm-hmm.
A man by nature, that's just a man. What's next? Okay, but for a man, if a man in a woman's place, the man will understand the persistent need to be up to something. It's exhausting. A woman always want to be something. It's just in the woman. I want to be this. I want to have children. I want to. This child have to. It's just the demand never ends for a woman. But for a man, there's very small thing to demand about. If a man can eat, a man can relax a bit.
Can eat again.
Oh, of course. They say where a man's heart is through the stomach. That's where a man starts.
No. There's one artist who say, l'homme, le ventre et le bas-ventre, le tout est joué. Is that what it is?
Not really. I don't buy that. So what I'm saying here is that if we exchange this role, we understand the man will feel what a woman feels every day. Maybe not recognized and have a lot to contribute, not given the opportunity to share even in your own home, maybe in a group in a church, or maybe in at workplace. You see, a man will understand that being dominating is not good in every aspect. Look at siblings. When you know this is my elder brother, anytime he's entering the house, even if he's so lovely and kind, your heart will still jump out a bit. Yeah. You have recognized the presence of somebody that's already above you. That's how a woman feels all the time. And when a man, you give that position to a man, the man cannot take it even for a minute.
True.
That's what a woman bears. But for a woman, the woman does not understand that even when the man does not provide, a good man feels bad. Even when a good man hurts a woman, that good man feels bad more than that woman that is hurt. He might not be able to express it. He might not be able to communicate it. He might want to stand his ground that I'm a man, but believe you, in his heart, he's broken.
Well, that's until when we exchange those roles, then we'll get to understand.
It's not possible to exchange the rules.
See then. So, before we round up this wonderful episode, what do you have as a message? Let's say a take-home message for our viewers. That thing that they should keep ringing in their minds, keep ringing in their heads like over and over concerning this women empowerment issue. Just one message.
The message is very simple. We should recognize our cultural orientation. We should understand that we are equal human beings. We pray to God and you don't even know whose prayer is being answered. Just this one aspect should teach us to know that it's not about the gender. It's about who that personality is, what that personality brings, and how that personality perceives. It matters more than the gender.
Wow. I guess that's powerful enough. Well, we have come to the end of today's episode. And I must say, I've learned a whole lot. I don't know about you, but whatever it is you've picked from this educative episode, just drop us a little comment. And if you would like to hear more about women empowerment, and if you would like to hear from the perspective of a woman who has been empowered, just drop us a comment and we will get to it. So we want to thank our guest, Mr. Hassan. We are very, very grateful having you and having you share these wonderful ideas with us. And we hope we'll get to see you some other time, maybe on the same topic, or maybe you have another controversial topic to help share some light on.
Of course, so many.
All right, thank you very
Doing
much.
research opens doors to many things. So yeah, I'll always be available. It's good to share all the time.
Wow.
Thank you for having me, and I'm grateful to be part of a changing movement.
Wow.
live.
Thank you for being part of us today.
Thank you.
So, on this note, we will say thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next week for another wonderful episode. Stay tuned to the Updates podcast. Thank you.